Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Senior Director, Technology, Pivotal, Andrew Clay Shafer.
Hi, friends. Or should I say, howdy, y'all. I aspire to speak the native language of whoever I'm speaking with. It's an important point, and you might remember it later, but it's hard. Things are hard. Words are hard. So what's up, SpringOne? So this is me. Very important piece of information on this slide is the Twitter handle, which we'll also come back to at the very, very, very end. But moving forward, why? That's what I'm going to talk to you about today. Why? Why? Why am I here? Long time ago, 2002, I was a Sun certified Java developer. And then I went on this little adventure, and I did a lot of open source automation projects, and I contributed some books about DevOps and SRE, and I've been organizing the global DevOps Days event since 2009. And there's a bunch of other stories, and you can watch those videos online later, but that's enough framing. DevOps has been very good to me, travel around the world, try to help people. That's 5 minutes from my house. If you want to come visit me, we could go for a walk. And this gave me some very unique understanding. So I spent this last decade helping people deliver software better with better software. And I had this very, very, very privileged perspective to watch the big web being built since about 2004 or 5. Like I had a front row seat to watch a lot of these things being built. Tools that I was part of building were used inside Google to manage things, used inside Twitter. All these other things are like right there in front of me. And then I've been focused more and more on the enterprise for the last, say, 5 years as a part of the Pivotal journey. So being able to see these patterns across the industry has been quite a privilege. And hopefully I help someone along the way too, but I definitely. So why do I need to be here? And we'll come back to that. Because the real question is, why are you here? Because it's all about you. Everyone thinks or centers the universe on themselves. So this is all about you. Why are you here? Why do you need to be here? Oh, digital transformation, right? Like everyone says this word over and over. It sounds so nice. Like this is what I think of when someone says that word. It's like pandas vomiting rainbows. So nice. But digital transformation is people. Right? And we actually had a few speakers set this up a minute ago. People transformation is hard. Because we all have needs, right? We all have different whys. We need things. So this is a hierarchy of needs, basic needs. Somewhere right there between self-actualization as esteem is the need to put certain technologies on your resume. Once you get battery and Wi-Fi covered, the rest of it like falls in line, right? But you can't worry about some of these higher level things if you're worried about safety, right? That's also a big cultural thing. So we have needs as individuals, and we also have needs as organizations. And I keep using these words, needs and why. Because behaviors only adapt to the level that they need to. If your needs are met, you won't change more. So I said, where are we? Where are you? Right? We're all in different places on this probably. And there's more than one of these happening at any one time. So the majority not participating in the early innovations, not seeking the advantage, starts to adopt things after it gets legitimized, after someone else demonstrates the competitive advantage, then we want to have that thing, right? We hear the buzzword, we want that thing because that's easy, right? Majority of the majority will not change their behaviors. They'll just change the words. They'll change the words, they'll change the titles, they'll do the same thing, they'll change the title to DevOps, do the same thing, change the title to SRE, do the same thing, right? Who works there? Who's working on this project right now? Does anyone have this project? Who wants that project on their resume? Be honest. No, just kidding. Like that's easy, right? Those are words. Changing words is easy when nothing needs to work. Right? Does anyone work there? Does anyone have this? How many of these things make it to production in that little curve of innovation? It turns out there's other problems. This social engineering is actually harder than the technology engineering. So I modified this because the original version, it says man. So it's difficult to get someone to understand something when their salary depends on their not understanding it. Because people don't want to change when their needs are already met. Right? I've been meeting my needs working this way. I don't see the need to change. And it's actually even worse than that because people get attached to how their needs are already being met. They get their identities attached to the task they're performing, and when you tell them they're going to do work a different way, they feel like they're being erased sometimes. So part of this social engineering is to get them to understand or make them be a hero in the new version of the story. So this is a true fact. A normal adult can be fluent in a new language in 6 months, and a native speaker in 2 years. This is true. There's existence proof that this is true. There's a great TED Talk on this topic about all the preconditions and activities that will make this happen for someone to be able to do this. But one of the key things is that most of us won't do this. Like I can explain how to do something, but you won't do it. And the reason we won't do this, the reason we won't learn these languages is because we don't need to, right? And there's a bunch of other things, and if I had a longer talk, I would explain why when people get upset or worried about retraining their staff, like we have to have all these things retrained. Like if you can learn a language in 6 months, you can learn Java in less than that, right? If you have these preconditions and you have the need to learn, you'll be able to do whatever problem needs to be solved. I believe that very strongly. So we only learn anything to the level that meets our needs. This is true. This is the speaker ago said that you can't change human nature. This is the core process that controls human nature, meeting our needs. We only learn anything to the level that meets our why. Why? Transformation will only happen to meet the level of the need. And transformation stops when why runs out. So if people in your organization don't know why they're doing things, they're not going to do them any better. So why are you here? You have to answer that for yourself. What I hope is for new thoughts, new needs, and new behaviors. And to kind of close this thread before I go into another thing I'm kind of proud about something Pivotal's doing, is I make this statement in a lot of my other presentations. You haven't learned anything until you change your behavior. It's not enough to get new information. You haven't learned until you change your behavior. This is very obvious if you're playing sports or music, but for whatever reason and lots of other things, we kind of like to hand wave and collect buzzwords and like not change, but change your behavior. So this year, Pivotal needed to do something different, and we're changing our behavior. So it's nice to talk about software, and I love software, and software's changed the world, but sometimes the best way to change the world is just take direct action and change the world. And we're transforming how the world markets at conferences by going swagless. So you don't have to read that, but basically we want people to be more conscious of the environmental impact of producing the clothing and the promotional products. And so all of the money that would be spent on that is being donated to some nonprofits. And then there's a group of sponsors that are also participating with us. And the reason, so the why, and this goes back to change the world, is because approximately 80 pounds of used clothing are disposed of each year in the US alone. 80 pounds per person. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. And this is the second leading cause of pollution in water in the world. So, I don't know. We do the little bit that we can. And these are the nonprofits. So you're going to get tokens, and you can choose how the money will be distributed from Pivotal and from the sponsors. You get them in the hub. We're supporting Black Girls Code, which is trying to increase the number of women of color in the digital space by empowering girls of color. We're also doing, these are the 4. I just think that they're so cool. I want to say their mission out loud. Help women from low-income and immigrant communities learn to design, sew, and sell sustainable fashion. The Nature Conservancy is a global environmental nonprofit working to create a world where people and nature can thrive. And last but not least is The Last Mile prepares incarcerated individuals for successful reentry through business and technology training. And I think those are all great missions, and I'm happy that we're supporting them. So with that, I think I'm going to have my friend and partner in crime come back out on stage, and we'll get back to the rest of the program. Yeah, have you ever talked about cloud-native software?
No, and I certainly never on a Sunday night live with you.
The old Cloud Foundry After Dark?
After Dark is
I met James in 2010 talking about open source cloud software at OSCON.
Yeah, and you told me...
when he was at VMware working on Cloud Foundry.
That's true, and you told me the future is the continuous delivery of microservices.
I said that, that's true.
Boy, I just missed.
In 2010, yeah, that was true.
Yeah, that was true.
So I've been rambling about continuous delivery since 2010, easy, yeah.
Yeah.
So you already heard about the 4. You have the choice to donate your tokens. There's also a shout out to the sponsors that came on this journey with us.
Yep.
So let's make a shout out to those sponsors. Big round of applause for all the sponsors that chose to go swagless.
Take a look at their logos. They went swagless in return for this time, so take a look.
So you'll see the swagless symbol in their booths in the hub, and they'll give you tokens if you visit their booth that you can then donate to the charity or the nonprofit of your choice. And then bringing it back to Twitter. Have you ever used Twitter?
Once.
Once?
Yeah.
Once or twice?
Yeah.
So what's a hashtag?
Looks like it's SpringOne.
But what is a hashtag?
A hashtag? It's metadata on a messaging outlet. Yeah. Use SpringOne hashtag.
If you're participating in this digital world, there's this thing called Twitter.
Yeah.
And you can put posts with SpringOne, and then everyone will see them.
And I will read and retweet every single one of them.
Is that a threat or a promise?
It's just already true.
Yeah. So that's happening. So if you also, I said this in many other talks, but I didn't say it today, if you want to get my attention, Twitter is actually the best messaging option for you. And then tonight, we're going to have a little party, also where you can get the tokens. So there's the hub that we wanted to welcome everyone. Come out, get a little
Be there.
Texas hospitality.
I won't be wearing a hat.
He actually refused. I tried to get him to wear a hat. And
Not cool enough.
It's a long story. Well, if we had longer, we'd tell you that. So with that, I think that is the end of today's SpringOne keynotes. You have a break until 11:30.
Thanks for the housekeeping. It was super exciting morning. Everyone agree?
And to send you out, we also would like you to thank all of the sponsors. So there's the sponsors that we showed you a moment ago that came on the swagless journey with us. These sponsors are what makes SpringOne possible. So big round of applause for all of these sponsors as well. And with that, I think have a great SpringOne. Woo!